This isn't fun.
Sit down.
This is not fun.
I can do 4-2. 4-3's a stretch. Any higher than that, I'm gonna be out on my ass doing that paralegal crap.
How do you stop a kid from growing?
I told you should offer him some cigarettes.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Lattis.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth, talk about it.
So how soon before Twitter is officially dead? R.I.P., hardly knew ya, don't let the door hit ya, etc., etc.
Well, we got years left.
Years of Twitter?
Yeah.
Why can't I open it on my phone?
Elon?
Barely usable now. Over the weekend, I don't know if you guys caught this, they put a tweet limit on Twitter. If you're an unverified, which is mostly everybody now, because all of the people who were verified lost their verification because Elon wanted people to buy verification, and a lot of people were like, I don't want to do that. Like,
I'm not paying $8 a month for Twitter.
Yeah.
Chewy gets $9 a month to work out.
He gets it takes him $17 a month and watches everything, all of the shows, all of the channels. So a lot of people were like, I don't want to do that. So then it was like a punishment. We're like, well, if you don't want to do it, then we're going to limit your access. If you're not registered, if you're not verified, you can only see 600 tweets a day.
Cool.
I know, and I tweeted out, hey, thanks for putting the lock on the pantry to curb my snacking habit, right? Like, are you serious? Like, I don't want to be on Twitter. I do it as like a default setting when I'm bored or pick up my phone, open it up, and scroll through, and you just made it harder to do. Thanks, pal.
What's the business model?
That's what he's trying to figure out. Paid $44 billion, doesn't really know what to do.
The 44 is probably worth about 12 right now.
So yesterday...
Maybe who should buy it?
Okay, moneybags. Mark Zuckerberg.
You mean $12, right? Not $12 billion. He paid $44 billion for it.
American?
I believe so, yes.
In this economy?
Well, not this one, but the one about like 3 months ago or whatever it was.
Great.
It's not like really this stratosphere, though. I mean, I feel like he lives in a different stratosphere, people with the billions. Did I tell you guys my millions to billions trick yet?
No.
Oh, this is great. Of all the things I learned in Germany, I think this was the best thing that I learned in Germany. Okay? Human beings have a very difficult time differentiating between million with an M and billion with a B. So my buddy was telling me as we're sitting around having a pint in Germany, a million in seconds, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting a little fast, but in seconds is 11 days. Okay? If you have a million seconds, it adds up to 11 days. A billion seconds is 32 years.
A little different.
Have you ever heard that
puts
before?
it in perspective.
Thank you.
Yes.
Of
This
all
is coming from the
things-
money who's got the guy who actually has money over here.
Exactly. The difference is 11 days, 32 years. So we're talking about people who have boatloads of money, and that includes Mark Zuckerberg, who yesterday rolled out the competitor to the old Twitter, Threads. I'm in on Threads. I signed up for Threads, made some punny jokes on Threads. Well, Gabe wouldn't think they were punny.
Well, here's the problem. I feel like people have been trying to do different things to counteract Twitter for years, and none of them have actually worked because we're too far in. Got too much time invested. There's still too many people on the platform. You know how long it's going to take for Threads to be a legitimate competitor?
Maybe, but there are 10 million, with an M, people who have already signed up and started accounts in the last 12 hours.
How many people are on Twitter?
I have no idea. Get a number. I'm sure if you Google that, we'll get that number.
Hey, do some work, Gabe. God.
But 10 million in the first day feels like a pretty good start. Wrong, right?
Big world. How many people are in the world?
206 million on Twitter.
That's a good first day.
But it's been on for 20 years, right? Twitter's been around for 20 years. Right, yes.
What?
Why are you looking at me like that?
Do you know what year it is?
Yeah, 2020. What year did Twitter start?
After Facebook.
You think Twitter started in 2003?
I know that I was using Twitter at Fox 6, and that feels like 20 years ago. How long ago was it?
I mean, like 2007, maybe 2008.
Like, how many times a day do you guys look at your phone I don't even know how Twitter works. I don't care. I don't want to. I could care less. But how many times do you look at your phone a day at Twitter? 5, 20, 110?
Not 100, but a lot. Too many times.
Yeah, like it's so when I'm at work today, it's right now it's up on my laptop and it's just constantly up.
Really?
Like every once in a while I'll come back to it just to see what's going on, see if any news broke, and then go back to what I'm doing.
And you can have alerts set, to certain things. Like you can have an alert set for Packers news so that when Packers news hits Twitter, you get an alert for it. You get a notification so it lets you know right away. Twitter started in 2006, guys. So
We're creeping.
We're not that far off of 20 years. We're at 18, 19, 17. Yeah, we are.
Can you not do the math?
But we are. So again, when I said 20 and rounded up, you guys made me seem like I had 5 eyeballs.
I don't know. For some reason, when it comes to years, I think 3 years is a big gap.
Well, I mean, 3 years is a big gap. And second of all, so Twitter started in 2006, but when did everybody actually get on Twitter? 2009, 2010?
Again, I said it's been around for 20 years, and you guys looked at me like I was the craziest person in the history of the world. Turns out it's been around for 17 years.
Yeah, but you weren't on it in 2000. I feel like you got bailed out. It tells you, go to your Twitter profile right now. When did you sign up for Twitter? It tells you
where.
User 6.
I don't even know how to find that.
So you pull it up. So again, I'm going to pull it up on my phone right now on the app. And I go to my profile. Joined August 2012.
Where did you find it? Profile.
Yeah.
Where?
So you've got your little bio. You got where you're
July 2009.
So that's when you signed.
That's when you were on? Are you on Facebook?
This is insane.
Facebook.
Yeah,
the attempt to win a debate right now is just exhausting.
As we do on this show often, we have to get the facts straight. That's what we care about most, is being correct
Yes,
and
exactly.
getting facts right. As Chewy will tell you.
When they write our tombstone, it will say, always got it right.
Chewy was right.
So are you guys in on Threads or out on Threads? It's a new social media platform. You're going to have to maintain it. Why?
Because if Twitter dies, I ain't signing up for a new one.
I already got Instagram. I use Instagram plenty. People don't need to hear my thoughts.
You don't use Twitter for information?
I can't remember the last. No. Instagram to me just as good to get information.
But this is the Instagram version of Twitter.
I already have
literally
Instagram.
By Meta.
Why do I have this?
Do you think people will be sharing the same information on Instagram? Like my girlfriend who shares all of her bikini pictures. Will she be sharing them on Thread as well?
I mean...
It's motivation,
but
Gabe.
it's all connected. So I'm sure there'll be some. I'm sure Zuckerberg will have some way where you post on one and it posts on all of them.
I think you guys are addicted to your phones.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, let Twitter die. Let Twitter die. Yeah. I ain't jumping on anything else.
I hate my phone. No, I do.
Would you like to elaborate?
It's annoying. I mean, it's good for the weather.
There it is. There we go.
It's actually not even that good for
the
weather.
Have you tried walking
of
outside?
all the things that you could say, of all the things to endorse on the phone, the weather app is horrible.
What is the best weather app?
I saw Ginger Z from Good Morning America. I think she's Good Morning America. Maybe she's the Today Show. I'm not sure. Former Chicago meteorologist.
One of those morning shows.
She said that there is no good weather app. I feel like she would know.
Yeah, but there's got to be, you got to have something, like, okay, you as not you, I'm talking to Ginger, as the meteorologist have access to a lot of different things.
Correct, and I think that's why I'm taking her word as gospel. She's saying there's not a good weather app.
Sure, and yes, I can't take all the Doppler radar and everything.
You guys ever see Hall Pass?
Is that the one where they're allowed to sleep with other people?
No, that's the one where the guy's got his porn site up and the wife sees it. He's like, I get my weather from that site.
No, I
have not seen that movie.
Are you trying to tell me that the premise of that isn't that they can sleep with other people? I thought that's what a hall pass was.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Not what he was focused on, apparently. He was focused on the weather app.
He's over there going, that's brilliant, buddy. I'm going to steal that.
Cloudy with a chance of rain, crazy.
But okay, none of them are actually good. There still has to be one that's best.
AccuWeather. That's still around.
Yeah.
I always just go to the Weather Channel, right? That's the best.
They should still
turn
show
on
weather?
your television to find out the weather?
No, I got it right here.
Oh, okay.
I got one that is horrible, but I check it every day.
You go to the Weather Channel app. No, not even. The Weather Channel site.
Like this one is horrible. I don't even know what it is.
That's what I said.
Yeah, the iPhone one. Yeah, the Weather Channel one.
Oh, it's terrible.
I thought he was like, a 70-year-old person who just went to his TV and left the Weather Channel up. Do they even show weather on the Weather Channel anymore?
Question, because Travis Jervey tried explaining this one time, and he is a moron.
Yeah.
What is 50% chance of rain? What is it?
So from what I've heard...
I heard it's not... Well, I don't know. I'm not...
Yeah, no, what you're going to say is probably what I've heard.
Okay.
It's not there's a 50% chance of rain where you're standing.
Yes.
It's in that area, 50% is going to get hit by rain. That's what I've heard.
That is incorrect.
What's
that was something that
somebody said.
Twitter. It was circulating on Twitter. I want to say 6 months to a year ago.
See, Twitter's useless.
And it was disproven quickly by meteorologists.
So what does it mean?
It's a 50% chance that it's going to rain.
I don't think that's true.
It's pretty straightforward.
What?
Because everyone got rain yesterday except me. So that's like 98%.
Hey, how mad are you when everybody else gets rain but you?
I'm waiting. My
His lawn. It's not great.
sprinkler system's really frying my ham.
Is it cutting it into
No,
your
I got
potential
real
gym
green
budget?
patches and I got brown. Yeah, it's not.
Did you go cheap on the sprinkler system?
It's 20-something years old.
Wait, is it like the in-ground one
Yeah.
that like pops up?
Yeah.
Might be time for an upgrade, pal.
No, I'm out. I'm done. I want that house.
Let's just say you went to Angie and said.
She is anti-sprinkler system.
So if you told her it was
Thinks
on
it's
its
a waste.
last leg, she would say, too bad, so sad,
Yeah.
kind of like Gabe with Twitter.
Pound sand, basically.
Speaking of Angie, how is the old gym search going?
We're down to 2.
What do you?
Oh, whoa! We've got 2
How did we
finalists
get to
already?
the final episode already? You've been handing out roses. You've been taking back roses, and I have not gotten to participate.
We're going to go this weekend and check them out. Crossed a couple off the list.
So how does this process work?
Let me ask you this question. Mine got shut down. That's not my stomach.
You guys hear that too, right?
Yeah, is there,
Yeah.
is there an airplane landing
So
somewhere?
He's got
Wait.
hot dog buns. I need some of those for this weekend.
Want me to flag
So
him
my
down?
place got shut down middle of the night.
Yep.
Worked out there, and they shut it down. So another business brought it out, but are not opening the place where my gym was at. That's shut down. They cannot charge me, this new company.
Correct.
Well, what they did was, based on the news reporting, is they transferred your membership to Planet Fitness. So now if you want to cancel that membership, you got to go through Planet Fitness to cancel.
No.
You have to cancel, Chew.
I'm not a member there.
Just
Yes, you
call and cancel.
No.
They bought
Don't-
your contract, you're a member of Planet Fitness now.
Sign
Chewy, do
anything.
not be stubborn because, again, you're going to get hooked. You're going to get that charge. It's going to hit your account. Then you're going to have to explain it to Angie. She's going to give you a tough time about it. Just make the call.
They can't do that.
Just call them.
Turns out, I know you think they can't. Turns out, though, they can.
I signed this contract. I don't even think I signed anything. This is like 15 years ago. See, now that bothers me.
What bothers you?
I don't know.
There's
Something. He can't put his finger on it, but something about this is really. What did you say before? Frying your ham?
It's like if you hire a lawn company and they go over,
Yeah.
the new lawn company can't come over and cut your grass without your permission.
I have a story. I have a story about
Really?
They
that.
can, yeah. If they absorb the contract.
I don't think so.
It's like if you got traded. If you got traded in the NFL
Yeah.
from the Packers to the Saints.
Yeah.
Saints still got to pay you. They absorbed your contract.
What if I retire?
But they would have to be the ones retiring because you pay them. They're not retiring.
How about this? We're going to put it on the poll. Should Chewy just call Planet Hollywood Fitness LA or whatever it is and just cancel the membership? I'm guessing most people out there are going to say, yeah, buddy, you know what we could do? We could do it here on the show.
Yeah, we could
just call him here on the show. Want to do that? Okay, we got Jason coming up.
How much do you want to bet? They're going to say, no, you got to come to a place I've never been before.
You've been there a million times.
No.
Oh,
You gotta go to
it's a different
Planet,
place.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to go to Planet Fitness. But what if you go to the one? There's one downtown here.
They'll say, no, you got to go to this one where it's transferred to.
That's true, actually. He's right about that. I can back him up
I'm
there.
Wait, so
sick of this
Planet
world. I
Fitness
would
is-
get
We're
killed
gonna
to
call.
get back to
We're gonna call.
1975.
You don't have access to all the Planet Fitnesses?
Not unless you pay a certain amount, yeah.
No, you don't. Yeah, that's an extra charge.
Just the one.
He's right.
All right, we got Jason Wilde we got to get to here. Put it on the poll. Should Chewy just call Planet Fitness, Hollywood, LA Fitness, whatever it's called, and cancel the membership that they, I don't know, adopted? Did they adopt the membership? What is it?
They bought it out.
They
bought Chewy's membership.
No.
Acquired?
They acquired Chewy's membership. It's exactly
so he
what
doesn't
happened.
get charged. And what were you paying again? Just remind the people. What $1 billion? $9. Oh, $9? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Definitely don't call. It's fine. We got Jason Wilde coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Stick around.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Volume is moving along pretty well. We do have a little bit of a backup along northbound 41 right through the Watertown Plank Road area, and it's getting a little bit heavier northbound 43 through the Capitol Drive construction zone. But otherwise, everything else seems to be moving along pretty well, not seeing too many problems. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. A check in the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy, becoming less humid, a high of 74. Tonight, mainly clear with a low of 60. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Mazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
The big gig is back.
Everybody's happy. Summerfest is back. The weather is perfect.
And so are we at the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone.
I think I got in trouble for talking to people. They said I was mean.
Tune in every weekday to Homer and Tony and Scalzo and Brust, who will be broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone all throughout Summerfest.
Greg Scalzo is here! Hey! 1 minute late.
What I just did was miraculous.
Oh, here we go.
Stop by, say hi, and win prizes all Summerfest long with 94.5 ESPN.
Guten Tag! We're back. Matt and Katie here from Milwaukee Pretzel Company, and we've got a big anniversary coming up.
We sure do. Can you believe it's been 10 years since we started Milwaukee Pretzel?
We've watched Milwaukee Pretzel grow from a daydream in a beer garden to a vibrant Milwaukee brand, and we're so grateful to all of you for your support over the years.
So what better way to celebrate than with a bunch of giveaways and discounts on pretzels? Visit MilwaukeePretzel.com today to get in on the fun. That's MilwaukeePretzel.com.
Is this when I should start singing Happy Birthday?
Absolutely not.
Happy birthday. Ow.
There's only one place in Milwaukee where every day of the year, dreams and reality get together for a great time. Where you can walk in a player and walk out a winner. That place, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. With fantastic dining, gaming, sports betting, a luxurious hotel, and endless ways to win, the excitement never stops. The only thing missing is you. Your win is waiting. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Visit our website to learn more. Must be 21 to enter casino.
With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to technology to reducing the risk of fraud, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the healthcare spectrum to meet the complex moments you're navigating. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
Look at all this space I have on my desk. Finally, no more clutter.
I know, right? Plus, now I can actually see everyone and talk to them whenever I want.
Would you stop trying to ask people if there are more doors or wheels in the world?
Speaking of wheels, these chairs, woo!
I've never been more comfortable at work.
Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors, the official moving and furniture provider of GKB Milwaukee.
Ready, down, put.
All Packers, all the time.
And I'm eager to see how he handles them when they're happening in games against other teams, as opposed to when they're happening against Darnell Savage or Avarius Moore picking him off in a practice.
Okay, most of the time.
Almonds specifically or all nuts?
Well, these nuts, those nuts, whatever nuts work.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Brought to you by Boucher Automotive. With 16 different new car brands and over 35 pre-owned brands to choose from. Boucher Automotive. We are driven by you. And by the Bridgewater Modern Grill. Nestled in the heart of Milwaukee's emerging Harbor District. Enjoy a specialty crafted menu centered around a custom oak-fed grill.
A pleasure to be joined by our friend and teammate Jason Wilde this morning. Jason, how are you doing? How was your 4th of July?
I'm doing great. 4th of July was great. The Fox Point Parade was great.
Oh, tic-tac-toe.
It's great to talk to you guys.
Oh.
So, when's the last time I talked to you, Jennifer?
Well, it was a while ago. So June.
You were gone for 2 weeks.
Yep.
And then I was gone for a week, and now here we are on Thursday.
Like
finally
June
back together
10th?
like peaches and herbs.
June 9th.
Jason, Jen pulled her groin.
I did.
So is that Pat McKenzie's world? Is that a 2 to 4, a 1 to 3?
Ooh, good question.
She
well,
said
he's
she
very
has a triathlon on.
That's not going to happen. I'm already resigned to that fact that triathlon is, well, going bye-bye, like Twitter.
I'd say 2 to 4.
Dare I ask how it happened?
I literally was just running. I went for a run with Dario.
That was your first mistake.
100%. Listen, man.
Dario.
I got the real story.
And it was a good warm-up. It was a good warm-up for me. And then I said, he went back to the house, and I said, I'm going to run an extra mile. And I decided to pick up the pace. And I was going up a hill, and I think I just stretched it too far as I was sprinting up the hill. And it just kind of...
so he wasn't there anymore. You were...
Yeah, that's karma.
You were solo.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's karma.
He said that's what I get for leaving him.
Well, for being mean to him.
I wasn't being mean.
You're kind of mean on the radio yesterday.
I said,
You said
I
it's-
go faster than he does. That's what I said. That's not mean. That's accurate.
I mean, are facts mean?
That's not mean.
It says more about how you interpret them. It's just a fact of life.
Thank you for putting that out there. So, Jason, I was told my physical therapist said non-weight bearing for 48 hours, and then they would reassess. So we're coming up on at noon today will be 48 hours of me being on these crutches. And I haven't had any setbacks. Cross your fingers. So we're going to test it at noon.
And when is the triathlon? Are you in the same one that I'm in?
Yeah, probably, yes. It's the 12th in Pewaukee.
Okay, no, I'm not doing that one. It's a different one.
It's in a different state. You wouldn't know it.
Anyway.
It's eating donuts, eating wings, and then going to Rott's Hots for dinner. All right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get us sidetracked. Do you want to talk about the new social media app now, or what do you guys want to talk about next?
Are you going to go on the new social media app, or are you just going to be done with social media?
No, I'm on it, baby. Woo! I got 79 followers. I'm only 82,603 behind what I have on Twitter, so I'm very excited.
Jason, I am so anti-social media. I want to ask you, you have to remain the same age, but what year would you go back to in your lifetime when life was just so easy and simple?
Whew. Wow, 1996. That
was a great year.
That was a great year, wasn't it? My first year on the beat. The Packers win the Super Bowl. So, first, I don't like social media either. I think there are some really good things that come from it. I've made some friendships because of it that have become very important to me. If you remember our friend JD, who passed away a couple of years ago down at ESPN Chicago, and with Adam Schefter's incredible number of followers, they raised like over $1 million for his son, who JD's wife had passed away a few years before he did. And that was a great moment of social media doing really good things, right? It's such a toxic place that a lot of times the negatives outweigh the positives. For me, especially, look, and that was not in any way a humble brag about Twitter followers, because I don't care about that. But my point is that when you have that level of notoriety, and Jen, I'm sure you've dealt with this, there's a lot of people that just want to be jerks to be jerks. And while you can say, well, just ignore them, from a mental health perspective, when you're the one who's enduring those folks that are saying crappy things to you frequently, it does take a toll. I have found that. And so I don't really engage anywhere close to the way I used to. I use my Instagram as private. So if the girls, for instance, they just did this thing with Feeding America, which is awesome. I did share that on Twitter, but I just don't use it that much. So I doubt Threads is going to make much of a difference for me. But I do know that when it comes to wanting people to engage with our shows and I love the polling aspect of Twitter because you get a pulse for how people are thinking. I think we found throughout this offseason that it was always hovering around about 70% people who were sick of Rodgers, wanted him gone, were excited that they traded him, all those kinds of things. We'll see if it's still that way if the Packers are 2-7 and the Jets are 7-2 9 weeks into the season. But there are uses for it, but it really, the limited value it has. And Chewy, if you were on it, I'm sure that there would be all kinds of people that would say all kinds of crappy things about all kinds of things. So I think you make the right choice. If you don't, I guess my final statement would be, if you don't have to be on it, you don't need to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
For those of us that work in media and rely on engagement for certain aspects of our shows or whatever else, it's kind of a necessary evil is the way I view it.
Jason, when I was in Germany, I was telling the guys, you walk around, from place to place, restaurant to hotel,
in
etc.
Lederhosen?
And no Lederhosen. But nobody's on their phones. Nobody's sitting there like walking and looking at phones. Now, some people have headphones in and might be listening to a podcast or listening to something, but nobody is walking around in that like zombie pose, like shoulders rolled over, phone in front, like mindlessly scrolling through. And again, part of that I think is because their socializing takes place in person. They sit at tables, they sit at cafes, they drink wine, they drink beer, you know what I mean? They're having a meal together and they're exchanging ideas and thoughts that way, as opposed to what I think became for us like normal. I have a thought, I'm going to put it out there into the Twitter sphere and I'm going to let people react to it. I'm under no obligation once I put it out there to continue interacting, right? I could just put it out there and have people react to it. And so I found that to be a very different just attitude from a society standpoint. And I gotta argue probably healthier.
Well, and let me shift this now to something, and Chewy, this will be great for you, because let me shift this to something that Tausch and I were talking about yesterday on our show, and that is that, once again, the Packers aren't staying at St. Norbert for training camp. That went away during the first year back from COVID, and they've never gone back since. And Tausch was talking about how great it was for team bonding, getting to know guys, how fun it was to sit in the courtyard and play cribbage or backgammon at a picnic table and eating a Haagen-Dazs ice cream bar. And my argument is that because of how we are with our phones, and look, Rodgers has a lot of faults, there's no doubt about it. And one of them was that I don't think he went above and beyond last year to connect with the young guys when he needed to, even though he had always talked about how deliberate, as you get older, you have to be to connect with your younger teammates, especially in the social media, always on my phone era. And I thought he kind of failed in that department. Not kind of, actually failed in that department last year. But taking away that experience at St. Norbert and living in the dorms for 2.5 weeks with a bed that's too short and whatever else, like I firmly believe that now is the time that we need to be even more intentional about that kind of stuff, because we're so disconnected and disjointed, because we're all looking at our phones and all that kind of stuff. Like, I feel like that face-to-face interaction is more important than ever. And if I was coaching and if I was the Packers, I would still do it. Now, obviously, my coaching is, 6th grade girls basketball and 5th through 7th grade softball, so I'm not exactly Matt LaFleur here. But I really think that connectivity is important because of the era we live in, to Jen's point. And the fact that they're not doing it, I'm not saying that they're not going to, win more than 6 games because they didn't spend time together in tiny little dorm rooms. But I really think that that's more valuable now than it ever has been, because you don't have enough of the interaction elsewhere.
Jason, do other teams do things like that? Obviously, I know the Chiefs did when they were up at River Falls, and the Bears in Platteville. You had to stay somewhere when all those teams were training here in Wisconsin, and then they realized they could just make more money when they did it back in their actual home cities. Do other teams look for colleges and stay in the dorms for 2 weeks, or was this just an old thing the Packers did for a long time and they were the last one to still do it?
No, I don't know if they were the last ones. I'll have to fact check that and get back to you on it tomorrow, because I know that there have been, as you pointed out, a number of teams that have just gone to, having their training camp at their facility, not going away. I know the Cowboys, for example, have gone to Oxnard, California for many years. I don't know how much cooler it is in Oxnard than it is in Dallas, but apparently enough that they've done that for a very long time. Now, they stay in a hotel. They don't stay at Oxnard Community College or something. But I think most teams had done this for a long time, and I think there are still some. I want to check on the Steelers, for example. They would go to Latrobe, Pennsylvania. I understand it's kind of old school. Certainly the practices aren't old school. I mentioned this to Tausch yesterday. Like his rookie year, they had 51 practices that were open to fans. And they've got 13 this year. But I don't think that there's the same degree of kind of unorganized connectivity opportunities, right? You can take them paintball shooting, which is what they did at the end of the off-season program. But I don't think it's kind of like we are with kids, right? My girls play club soccer, volleyball, softball, basketball. How often do kids just go up to the local park like I did growing up on the south side of Milwaukee with a couple of your buddies and play pickup baseball in the poorly mown baseball field at Lions Park? I think everything is more structured, and I think there's really value in whether you're an NFL player or a kid growing up to have that kind of unstructured opportunity from time to time.
Jason, it's great to reconnect with you. We will talk to you again soon.
Good luck with your groin.
Thank you. Thank you,
I've always wanted to say that.
Are you saying it on behalf of my groin?
And you too, Jen.
On behalf of your groin.
Chewy's like the Lorax, only for groins.
Yes, exactly. Lorax speaks for the trees. You speak for the groins.
Is that what you put on your groin when it's bad?
Lorax?
Yeah, Lorax. What is Lorax? I want some.
We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We will explain that Dr. Seuss reference when we come back.
Palermo's is Wisconsin's hometown pizza. Easy to see why they've been doing this for over 55 years. When you take a look at all the brands under their umbrella, they are going to have a pizza taste for you. Maybe you're looking for something that's, maybe a little more artisan type pizza. Well, that's where Urban Pie comes in. If you're looking for that classic, crispy crust, well, maybe you could go get a thin and crispy, also light on calories. If you're looking for a premium pizza, that's where Screamin' Sicilian comes in. So many different great brands with Palermo's. They'll have a pizza taste for you. Find them in your local grocer's freezer aisle. It's Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Right now, we're seeing some delays along southbound 43 from just before Capitol Drive down past Locust, so heads up with that. Northbound 41 bunching up a bit from Wisconsin Avenue up past Watertown Plank Road, but for the most part, we're looking at pretty good speeds across the area. Traffic is brought to you by the Club at Lac La Belle, the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin. Schedule your tee time at club@laclabelle.com and start your journey. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy, becoming less humid, a high of 74. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 60. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Enjoy a world of street food fare in the largest tequila collection in town at Blue Bat Kitchen and Tequileria. Blue Bat is a destination for some of Milwaukee's best tacos, shareable appetizers, and margaritas in a fun environment right on the river in the historic 3rd Ward, serving up global flavors and good times 7 days a week. Blue Bat Kitchen will also turn your next party into a full-blown fiesta with an off-site catering taco bar. Visit Blue Bat Kitchen on Water Street or check out bluebatkitchen.com.
It's Wrangler season out there. T-shirt days, denim jacket nights. A pair of broken-in jeans you could live in. Open roads, endless horizons, no destinations. This is when adventure starts calling. And you need to be ready in jeans that are made for the unpredictable journey that we call life. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Bundling and saving with Geico is an easy choice, so you're free to ponder life's big questions, like, what's the best animal in the world if not humans? I'd strongly consider ducks to be somewhere up there on the list. Think about it. Ducks can swim, ducks can fly, and ducks can walk on land. They have access to all terrains. They are the ultimate animal. And they wiggle their butts when they walk, which is funny. Yeah, ducks are awesome. End of story. Bundling and saving with Geico. It's an easy choice.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code ESPN17 for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's code ESPN17. Use code ESPN17 for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill-up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Just jump on it.
That's what he did.
Chewy, jump on it, jump on it, jump up, slow down.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Always great to catch up with our friend and teammate Jason Wilde. If you missed any of that appearance, you can find it on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. So a lot of conversations this offseason have been about Jordan Love and how quickly he will be able to get up to speed in the NFL. We have said on this program that all that matters is him getting better. All that matters is that there is tangible evidence week to week, quarter to quarter, whatever your measurement is, that he is improving, that he's getting better. But Kimberly Martin was on Get Up yesterday. Kimberly Martin, ESPN NFL reporter, Kimberly A. Martin. And she had a different take on how things are going to shake out in Green Bay. Take a listen.
Well, I think it's immense pressure from the standpoint of look at the whole Aaron Rodgers saga. They moved up to get Jordan Love and then essentially told him, oh, no, wait, sit back down because we completely messed this situation up. We have a two-time back-to-back MVP guy on our hands right here. I think there's immense pressure, but that's why I say Jordan Love can't think about that. It really is because you're not going to have, forget about whether you have better stats in your first year as a starter versus Aaron Rodgers. If they make the playoffs, it doesn't matter what his stat line says. Clearly, he's done enough to get them to the playoffs. So that's all he has to worry about. Put them in a best position to potentially get into the playoffs, and he'll be good.
Agree with that, Chew? If they make the playoffs, it doesn't matter what Jordan Love's stat line is because he will have done enough to get them in the postseason.
Yes, I would agree with that. But I don't think his demeanor is, we really have to worry about him feeling the pressure. You know, he's not out there. He's not running his mouth in the media. He's very cerebral. I don't know if the pressure will get to him, or maybe he doesn't even know that there's that much pressure on him. He knows there's pressure on him.
You don't know what you don't know type of thing?
Yeah.
She's just wrong. I think of this situation.
Hold on. Wrong from the standpoint of making the playoffs, he'll be fine?
Correct.
Okay.
Chicago Bears made the playoffs with Mitch Trubisky at quarterback.
Good point.
Were they fine? No, because it ultimately came down to, is Mitch Trubisky developing to be your long-term starter? And the Bears have been in shambles really ever since then. You can sneak into the playoffs. It happens in the NFL. You catch a break here and there, win a couple of games, end up being that 7th seed.
Could certainly happen in this NFC.
Yeah, as weak as the NFC is, sure, certainly could happen. And it would be great if the Packers made the playoffs. Great for the experience, great experience for the young guys. But if you're talking about the future of the franchise and their chance to win a Super Bowl, It's Brian Gutekunst who set the bar. Hey, our expectations don't change here, right? So if you're looking to win another Super Bowl with Jordan Love as your quarterback, the only thing that matters is how good is he and how does he develop between game 1 and game 17.
The only thing I would say to that is, did the organization have a pivot in philosophy where they're going to say, I don't want a $60 million quarterback. I want a $30 million quarterback, and I want to spend that other 30 on the defense and let's win it with Garoppolo, or let's win it with Trent Dilfer. You know, maybe they know he's not going to be great, but maybe they know he's like, all right, he's good enough if we just change our philosophy. I don't think they want another $60 million quarterback because they're PIAs.
Then they don't want to win a Super Bowl.
I don't think you need a $60 million quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
If you want the best odds at winning a Super Bowl, that's what you need. You need a guy that's going to be that hot.
Yeah, but they don't have that, Gabe. They don't have it. That's all I'm saying.
But every team's looking for it. Like
every team's looking for it.
That's what gives you the best opportunity to win the Super Bowl year in and year out. Yes, are there outliers like Trent Dilfer? But the game's changed even so much since then when you could rely on the running game and they had a great running back and they had a great defense. Like defense
can Miami win?
Kind of matters.
Can Miami win a Super Bowl with Tua?
No.
Not a hard no. Can they win the Super Bowl with Tua?
I don't know. I saw a stat yesterday that had Tua number 2 on a list. It may have been completions from the pocket. Most completions from the pocket. Tua was number 2 on the list. Now, again, I don't know if that's the last 2 years. I don't know if it's as long as he's been in the league. But it was kind of an eye-opening list.
Sure.
I'll see if I can find it here. I think a lot of people are pointing to Brock Purdy. I think a lot of people point to Brock Purdy and think Mr. Irrelevant and think of what the Niners were able to do with him. The caveat to that on the Packers side of things is I think a lot of people trust what the Niners have done defensively, and a lot of people in the Packers world don't trust Joe Barry.
Well, you had a number of different things there. Brock Purdy played 6 games?
Yeah, the sample size isn't quite big enough yet.
The sample size is super small.
Yeah.
I have no idea if Brock Purdy's actually good. He played great in those 6 games that he was asked to do it. He also had Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle. He had 3 All-Pros, offensively helping him along.
But do you think?
And then they had, one of the best defenses in the NFL, which doesn't last, by the way. Think about the model that you're kind of talking about, Chew, of having this great defense and the one that was kind of put out there by the Seattle Seahawks about a decade ago. But when it came time, like that, those defenses fade fast because you have to be young, you have to be athletic. A lot of those positions, you just don't age well defensively. Because you got to be that athletic, where on offense, there are positions where you can age better.
But to Kimberly Martin's point, Gabe, because I don't think she is implicitly wrong. I think that them making the playoffs would certainly feel nice for this organization. And I think a lot of people would certainly celebrate a playoff berth, given all of the transition, given all of the turmoil, given the trajectory and the journey that Jordan Love, et cetera, has been on. But to your point, I think you do need to see those glimpses, those glimmers, those wow moments from the quarterback in order to feel like it's sustainable. But I got to tell you, I'm kind of with Kimberly here. Like, if they make the playoffs this year, people will be thrilled. People will be celebrating that. People will be ecstatic that they were able to weather the storm for this very dramatic transition.
And making the playoffs is always, winning is always better than losing. Never going to back out. And making the playoffs is fantastic. But again, the worst thing that Jordan Love can be is average. That's the worst thing he can be.
But there comes a time, though, where you just have to... There's not enough Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Allens out there. There's just not. So
yeah, you try to win.
Have to settle,
you try to win other ways, but teams haven't really
Brian
done it.
Dable, right?
Yeah.
Very smart coach, very good coach. They have Jones there, who's never going to be anything special, but they think there's enough there for him to do the most he can do and still win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're
hoping.
You
see what I'm saying?
And the other thing is that the conveyor belt just keeps rolling. So even if this class of quarterbacks doesn't have that many guys, there's always the hope that the guys coming out of college, right? We've been talking about the quarterbacks who are out there now, and Caleb Williams and Drake May, that they will be the game changer. They will be the difference maker.
But all I'm saying is if you're constantly trying to find that Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, you're chasing your tail all day long because there's just not enough of them out there.
But that's what teams have to do.
There comes a time you have to settle on okay, this guy's going to be good. That's all he's going to be. Never going to be great. We got to try to win with good.
We can supplement greatness around him.
Yes.
You know what that turns you into?
What?
The Minnesota Vikings.
Yes. Like Arizona. You don't think Arizona's sitting there going, And I don't know, maybe they're not, but Kyler Murray, what the hell were we thinking?
Oh, yeah, they want to move on as quickly as possible from Kyler.
And they're screwed.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
Carson Wentz in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that
Train
blew up
wreck.
in their face. Yeah.
So if you don't want to attach too much meaning to the Green Bay Packers making the playoffs this season, because as we mentioned NFC, because as we mentioned all of these things, you can kind of back your way in now with more teams making the postseason. What is the most important measurement for a successful season for Jordan Love?
I mean, I don't know. To me, it's not a statistical thing. It's going to be eye test. It's how does he look in week 1? How does he look in week 17? And is there progress being made? Like, do you think at the end of the season, when you get to week 17, or excuse me, week 18, game 17 against the Chicago Bears, how different does Jordan Love look? Does he look like the guy who's, okay, this guy can be our quarterback for the next decade, the way the Packers felt when Aaron Rodgers took over in 2008? That's the measurement for Jordan Love. Whatever, the stats can get skewed. Maybe he has a 4-interception game and ends up with 12 picks or whatever, but really cleans up the turnovers as he goes. Is he learning? Is he able to pick things up as he goes? I don't know if there's a statistical measure out there.
No, the thing that scares me the most, what you hear about the kid, is he's not extremely accurate, which is a problem in the NFL. If you're not accurate in the NFL, I'm sorry. You can have the greatest 3 quarters and then get into the fourth quarter and overthrow 6 guys and they lose. That's what scares me.
What's the difference between being not accurate and being reckless? Because I think that from a number standpoint, couldn't you pin not accurate on Brett, even though most people would say he was incredibly accurate?
You could, but the thing about Brett is his decision-making was so quick. Because as a receiver, all you want is the ball there right now. Come on, give it. And that was the biggest thing. When Brett went down, or in preseason, you go to another quarterback, I'm like, that thing's got to be out before I turn. Come on, I want the ball, A, so I don't get killed, and B, so I can catch it, turn, get upfield, and get as much as I can. That's all receivers want.
What's more important, being accurate or being decisive?
Ooh, that's a toughie. Accurate or decisive? I would say decisive.
What if you're decisive with the wrong decision?
That's not good. But decisive, if the ball's not exactly where I want it, I can still catch it, but I have enough time to catch, gather, protect myself, and get upfield. That's what I wanted as a player.
So if Jordan Love is decisive, does that overcome him not being accurate?
It could.
As long as he's making the right decisions.
As long as you're making the right decisions, you're going to have more drops. But, Brett wasn't incredibly accurate, but he had a strong arm, and you learn to know where he's going to put it. Except when he was aiming at my balls. I didn't like that in practice, and I got yelled at. 322.
Okay.
All right, Gabe, pictures. 322 Y stick is a 5-yard rollover for me.
Okay.
And on a 5-step drop, that's 10 yards away, throwing as hard as he can on purpose.
Low.
Right at the Richard.
Yes.
Did you deserve it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then.
So I need some Lorax.
Okay. Okay.
What's Lorax?
We don't have time for this right now, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Just like we're going to get to calling your gym this morning.
Quickly.
We're going to call the gym. We're going to cancel your membership.
Okay.
What was Brett? How often did you catch it? How often did it get through? We talking like 50-50, it got through and got you? Or were you able to catch it the majority of the time and prevent it?
No, you don't catch it. You know how a catcher scoops a ball that's in the dirt?
Yeah.
That's like it, yeah. It's more of a bat down. But Holmgren never yelled at him.
Down.
Catch the ball! Protecting my balls.
It is your business looking for localized banking solutions. Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years and for the last 14 right here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help your businesses succeed. Fifth Third is big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, but also empowered to make local decisions and work from a foundation of strong community connections. Commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Full show podcasts, interviews, and special content is available right now at WisconsinOnDemand.com. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN. The big gig is back.
Everybody's happy. Summerfest is back. The weather is perfect.
And so are we at the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone.
I think I got in trouble for talking to people. They said I was mean.
Tune in every weekday to Homer and Tony and Scalzo and Brust, who will be broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone all throughout Summerfest.
Greg Scalzo is here. Hey! 1 minute late.
What I just did was miraculous.
Oh, here we go.
Stop by, say hi, and win prizes all Summerfest long with 94.5 ESPN.
At Ethos Life, we've busted all the myths about getting life insurance. Like myth number 1.
Life insurance? I can't afford that.
At Ethos, we have term life policies everyone can afford, with policies as low as $7 a month. Or myth number 2.
I have a life insurance policy through work. That's good enough.
With workplace coverage usually only equal to a year's salary, that won't nearly be enough to cover your family's ongoing and future expenses. A long-term, affordable policy from Ethos can give you the peace of mind that if something happens to you, your family is well covered for years to come. Myth number 3.
Getting life insurance? And it's just too complicated.
At Ethos, our 100% hassle-free online process can give you a quote in seconds, application in minutes, and coverage in hours. With no medical exams or blood work needed, just answer a few health questions. Get your free online estimate at ethoslife.com. That's ETHOS life.com. Rates will vary based on age, underwriting, face amount, and type of policy.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Drive safely, Wisconsin. Highway workers are out on the road. They do it to better serve you. And just like you, they want to get home safely at the end of a hard day's work. When driving, all of us have a chance to set the right example. Be patient. Put down the phone. Never text and drive. Slow down and move over if possible to give workers a little extra room. Work zone safety. It's everyone's responsibility.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
During COVID-19, many people can't afford rent and have been threatened with eviction, and some have experienced sexual harassment.
My landlord told me my rent would be free if I gave him something in exchange.
The Fair Housing Act protects you during COVID-19 or anytime from anyone making unwelcome sexual advances. If this happens to you, file a complaint with HUD. Fair Housing, the law is on your side. To learn more, visit HUD.gov/fairhousing. If you fear for your safety, call 911. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
When is it acceptable to go onto a reputable dating site? Not Banger or Sticker or whatever. When is it okay?
On 94.5 ESPN.
I want to get back to that conversation a little bit later in the show about if the Packers make the playoffs, does it matter what Jordan Love's stat line is for the season? If the goal is to continue being one of the top tier teams in the NFC, making the playoffs certainly counts towards that. It's not the whole picture, but it counts towards that. And we will continue that conversation in the second hour of the show. But we have much more pressing, important matters to get to right now. How do you not know what the Lorax is? How have you never heard of the Lorax?
He speaks for the trees.
Lorax?
Yeah.
I thought it was a bone in your body.
It's the thorax.
Thorax.
I thought those were only on bugs.
On bugs?
Yeah,
The
those
thorax?
are on. Yeah, the thorax is only on bugs.
Yeah.
It's not a bone
for
in your
sure.
body.
What's the witches have?
Brooms?
No. Colder than a witch's thorax.
No.
You've never heard that?
I haven't, but it's funny.
Where did you think the thorax
The
was?
area of the body between the neck and the abdomen. The thorax contains vital organs, including the heart, major blood vessels, and the lungs. Apparently, we all have a thorax.
So that's your core?
Is it the same as the chest?
Core is down below the chest.
The thorax is also called the chest.
Got it.
I want to call it the thorax from now on.
No, but it's not colloquially known as.
Go to the
My
beach.
thorax is bigger than yours.
Yeah, I was about to say, she was going to go to the beach this weekend, check out all the thoraxes.
Stop looking at my thorax, you guys. Super inappropriate. So, yes, we all have a thorax, but you don't know what a lorax
I
is.
do not.
It's a Dr. Seuss character. Do you know the Dr. Seuss
I know
characters?
Dr. Seuss.
Who? Tell me some.
Guy in the hat.
The guy in the hat.
The cat in the hat.
Okay,
There you go.
The man in the yellow hat.
Curious George.
The cat in the hat.
There it is. What else?
Green Eggs and Sam.
Also very close. Green eggs and ham. Sam I am.
Yes. What's the lorax?
Like Horton Hears a Who. Do you know Horton Hears a Who?
Is that an owl?
Elephant.
Is it because of the Who?
That'd be Hoot.
Yeah.
The Who's down in Whoville.
He's an elephant.
I think it was a band.
The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Yes,
that's okay.
that's very good.
So the lorax is another one of the characters from that whole family, and he speaks for the trees.
What's he have to do with the groin?
Nothing.
The
You
lorax
literally.
and the thorax.
So
you said earlier you
bozo.
speak for the groin.
Oh.
So I made the joke that because the lorax speaks for the trees. That's the big line. I'm the lorax. I speak for the trees. You are the chew. You speak for the groins.
Okay. So it didn't get a lot of play, though, did it?
What?
Lorax.
Yeah, there was a movie in 2012.
Yeah, it wasn't that long
It's
ago.
Dr. Seuss, you Nimrod.
I know, but I've never heard of that book before.
Can I
There's
tell
so
you?
many better books.
Can I tell
Like
you?
what? Name 10. Name 10 books better.
Go ahead.
He's like, Jen, you
No,
were
that's
saying.
Tuesday.
I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude. You go ahead. Can I just tell you some of the voices that were in the movie The Lorax?
Yes.
Danny DeVito.
Ooh.
Zac Efron.
Don't know.
Taylor Swift.
Ah.
Rob Riggle.
Ah.
Jenny Slate. Ed Helms. Betty White.
Wow.
How many of those names did you know?
I knew Betty White.
Danny DeVito.
Ed Helms. Danny DeVito.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
A half. All right. Nice. Proud of you.
So apparently the Lorax was banned in California.
The movie or the book?
Good question. Not sure. Probably both. Because apparently California is there's a big logging community in California. And so in the book, The Lorax is trying to convince the people to stop chopping down the trees. And so they thought that it was propaganda.
So big logging.
Big logging.
Came in, we're like, nope, not doing that.
Because the kids were then like, why are you cutting down the trees? Stop cutting down the trees. And they were like, hey, economy. You know, like,
Lincoln Logs need to come back.
We like money.
I don't know how to explain this to you any other way, but if you like this house and you like those clothes and you like your toys, then you like us cutting down the trees.
Do you have any other books, Chew?
I just named them all.
No, they just are better.
Cat in the Hat.
Okay.
The Bible.
There it is.
There's only one book, and
Yes,
that's the
good
Bible.
book. Yes. Maybe I'll watch it. Is it worth a watch?
Yeah, I would take something. Throw a little help down the hatch. I am curious about the books that you remember from your childhood. I want to get into that, but we also want to continue with Kimberly Martin's comments about the Packers making the playoffs and if then Jordan Love's stats for the season even matter. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy right after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We're looking at a little bit of a slow ride northbound on 41 as you're making your way up from Wisconsin Avenue up past Watertown Plank Road. Southbound 43 really hitting the brakes from Bender Road, before Bender Road, all the way down past Capitol Drive to about Locust. Northbound 43 going to be a bit slow heading up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Locust as well. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy, becoming less humid, a high of 74. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 60. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I'm looking for fuel injector cleaner.
Right now, buy a bottle of Chevron Techron Complete Fuel System Cleaner and get one free. Only at AutoZone.
Will it also help with my mileage?
Get everything you need to restore your performance in MPGs.
Wait, is it good for trucks too?
Whatever vehicle you have, you can find the right products and parts at AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
Hey, this is Tony Smith. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Here's what I don't understand. You have this gift of being this mammoth of a man.
It's not always a gift.
What do you mean it's not a gift? In what way is it not a gift? On an airplane?
Made it to the damn NFL because of the gift.
That is a really good point.
Mickey, he's a stand-in for an 8-year-old kid, and I stand in for the kid's father.
But I got a big problem. The kid I stand in for, he's growing. He was 4 feet last month. Now he's like 4'2.5". He shot up 2.5 inches.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Again, when is it not a gift?
When you hit your head on doors, that's not a gift. Airplane, this isn't fun.
Sedan.
This is not fun.
I could do 4'2". 4'3's a stretch. Any higher than that, I'm going to be out on my ass doing that paralegal crap.
How do you stop a kid from growing? I told you should offer him some cigarettes.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited.
Ashley, you weren't here today. You weren't here yesterday.
Correct.
You are here today.
I'm here. Well,
can confirm. But you felt strongly about Chewy's take on the height thing.
I did. Well, I mean, I saw his comments on it. I saw the polls on it. Is it harder to be 6'6" or 5'4"? I thought about it a lot, and I love being tall. Don't get me wrong, I do. My head hurts a lot recently. I've been hitting my head on more things than I could possibly imagine than I'm hitting my head on in my entire life in the last 2 weeks. I don't know why or what it is, or if Mercury's in retrograde or whatever, but I'm with whoever says that being tall is not all it's cracked out to be sometimes, and I believe that's Chewy. Yeah. I believe he's right.
I mean, I'm not going to say there's more negatives than positive, but there's a lot of negatives.
No, my head hurts a lot.
Wait,
I don't know.
Where are you hitting your head?
Just everywhere, anywhere.
Is it in the food truck?
No, he's Googling right now. So he walks with his girlfriend. He's like gazing into her eyes, and boy,
but she's tall too. She's tall too.
True. Yeah, that's true.
He had a mark. You missed that, Jen.
Yeah.
When you were in Germany, he came in one day with this giant bruise on his head
from the food truck
because he hit his head in an awning.
No,
going for a walk with his girlfriend. To Chewy's point, all googly eyed.
No, I had a hat on. I couldn't. The periphery was. It's not her fault. It is her fault, but it's not. Anyways,
would you rather be googly eyed or tall?
What, more like with glasses or?
No, looking at
in this context.
Well, yeah, for sure that one. But I get to do both, which is great.
Did you get laughed at? Because that's a big thing when people do stuff like when tall people do that. They get laughed at.
Yeah, of course I did, and I also laughed.
No, you get laughed at.
Look. Doesn't matter if you're tall. Doesn't matter if you're short. If you hit your head on something or fall in general,
it's funny.
It's funny.
Oh, I will say though, I was moving some stuff around in the basement. And didn't know that there was like a wood sign on top of a Tupperware box, right? So I'm moving the Tupperware box and I'm jostling it and I'm jiggling it and I'm moving it to try to get it off the shelf. And as I'm doing that, the piece of wood, it's one of those holiday signs that says like joy on it or something very ironic.
Yeah.
It slid right off as I was jostling it and boom, right on the top. I went down.
In the beak.
Right down to the ground. And then I was like, help! Yelling upstairs for somebody to get me an ice pack because I could feel that thing. You know when you get hit so hard, you can feel it
expanding, and throbbing,
just turning into a bump.
Well, what's so negative about being short other than you're short?
You got to get help to reach things on the top shelf at the
100%.
grocery store.
I don't like calling my husband
How was
over,
that
asking him to get the dish on the top shelf.
Do.
I do not.
Angie loves that.
I like doing it for other people. I love helping
Yeah,
people.
you're a bumble. Yeah, that's what we are. We're bumbles.
What does that mean?
Rudolph.
What?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Who's Bumble?
He's this abominable snowman.
Oh, God, yeah. He's mad at us earlier for the Lorax.
Yeah.
And now
I knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
I have no idea still what he's talking about.
Wait, so you've never seen the holiday special Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
I have. Who's Bumble?
The
abominable
at the end of the
snowman.
movie, they have the abominable snowman. He comes back to the island Misfit Toys at the end. He's the one who puts the star at the top of the tree.
Spoiler alert.
70 years old.
I don't know
Is it 70 or is it like 63? Are we going to split hairs again?
7 years is a big difference in the context of depending on what you're talking about.
We're going to split hairs on that again? Hey, I told you guys I had a story earlier when you were talking about the gym, because we're going to call the gym this morning and try to get you out of your membership.
Lawn care?
Lawn care, yes. So we have ash trees on our property, right?
Not great.
Probably like 13 ash trees on our property. The woman who owned our house before us was treating them. So she'd have a company come out every year, inject the ash trees, help them fight off the beetle, ash borer beetle. So they have little silver tags on them, right? And you can kind of see them glimmer in the sun every once in a while. So we know that they're out there. So 2 years ago, we had somebody come out and treat the trees. And it came to about $200 a pop. $200 per tree, okay? So we talked about it. We were like, is it worth it to just keep treating the trees every 2 years? No, we're just going to start cutting them down, right? So we started cutting down the ash trees. So the other day, Dario and I aren't home. Chase is home. Somebody knocks on the door. Chase opens the door. Hey, I'm just going to be in your backyard for a little while. I'm with the tree company. Chase is 14. He doesn't know. He goes, okay, shuts the door. Literally, that was the exchange. We asked him. We were like, was there anything else? No, that's it. So the guy goes out there and he treats the trees. And he leaves the invoice on the front porch. So we come home and I'm picking up my Amazon packages and there is a bill from the tree company saying that they treated the 11 remaining ash trees. We call them up and go, we didn't ask for that. We didn't order this. They said, oh, well, you're on a rotation where every 2 years we come out and treat the trees. I say, you guys don't call? You don't call and let people know that you're on your way? Do you still want the trees to be treated? No, we just assume if you've treated them in the past, you want to continue treating them. Was that wrong?
For them, yes.
It's a great business model. You don't have to interact with anyone. You get the money no matter what.
I had the same thing. Someone came and aerated my lawn, thinking I was the neighbor. I'm like, thanks. Okay, I'm like, I ain't paying for it.
I didn't order this.
Yeah, I didn't order that.
I didn't
You
order
made the
this.
mistake.
Yes.
They made the mistake of going to the wrong house. That's not on you.
Yeah, no.
It was
I
an
get it.
awkward
Hey,
conversation
that's very
with the
good
lady.
wood. That's good wood, though. The ash trees, really good wood.
It's true. It's why baseball used to use it, but now it's maple a little sturdier.
You could probably
even
sell
Beechwood's
those.
a big one now.
Yeah.
For bats? Making some bats?
That's
It's a voice
good
special.
wood. It's good wood.
What are you using wood for? You making a table?
No, the fire pit.
Okay. Well, what's the difference?
Don't you have a fireplace inside the house?
Yes, and we have a fire pit.
There you go.
Yeah,
Plenty of wood.
that's what we've been using it for. But when you say good wood, I thought maybe you meant it had more of a practical use than just being burned.
Not baseball bats.
Oh, I'm just going to be over there spinning a baseball bat.
It's hardwood. It's very hard. It's a hard wood. No, it is a very. I'm not being like Chewy. I'm just saying it's.
I'm
it's
not being
That's why they use it
Chewy.
for bats. It's a hard wood, right?
Yeah.
Why you look at me like that?
Because you said hardwood about 1,000 times in the last 2 minutes. You've said good wood, good hardwood. What do you want me
Is
to
it better
do?
for wood to be good or hard?
No. What? Say that again?
Is it better for wood to be good or hard?
Thinking. Hold on.
It's better than softwood.
Depends on what you're doing. I don't know. What are you making with it?
Wood?
Yeah.
I'm not going there. See, I get baited. I get baited.
I believe the correct answer is babies.
Yes. But I also just said baited.
Yes.
Because he's baiting me.
Yes,
I'm the master of
correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's the master.
There
Of
it
baiting.
Yes.
Where
we
we
at?
the fourth time.
Did you
So are
end
you
up-
going to pay it or you're not
What
paying
should we
it?
do? That's what
No,
I'm asking
don't
you
pay
guys.
it. No. because the previous owner didn't mean that transfers over
but
to you.
But we did do it once with this company. That's what I'm saying. The previous owner had done it. So when we first moved into the house, it was up for whatever. We had to decide. And we were like, I don't know.
So 11 trees?
So it was 13 the first year. We had cut 2 of them down.
Yeah.
So now it's 11. 11 trees at $200 a pop.
Did you sign a contract
Yeah, was
with
there a contract?
So no contract.
All right.
We just had them do it 2 years ago.
Show up.
That's what I'm saying. You can't just show up.
Yeah.
And this goes back
some
to
sort
your
of contract.
This goes back to your gym thing. You signed a deal with the other gym. You didn't sign a deal with the new gym. So anything with the new gym, you shouldn't be held liable for.
Totally agree.
Yeah. You know how that works, man. Like they purchased your contract. Your contract now belongs to somebody else.
Yeah, but if this company got bought out,
yes,
we don't sign contracts here. But if we did, we don't work for the next company, do we?
If you had a contract, you would have to, yes. If your contract got bought out, you could leave. You could leave on your own volition. But then if you have like a non-compete, that would, you'd have to deal with some sort of non-compete or whatever.
I thought you're on my side. Doesn't really
He
feel
is
like
going to be when he calls when we call the gym and he speaks for you.
Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of fun being your representative on the phone.
Am I the only person that this has happened to? 800-990-3776. Has this happened to anyone else? We did not ask for the ash trees to be treated. Person just came out, treated the trees, left a bill on our front porch. Saw the bill, called the people, said, we didn't ask for this. They said, oh, well, we just assumed because you had it 2 years ago, you wanted to continue treating. And I said to myself, the 2 trees that we cut down, that the logs are sitting there. That wasn't a hint. That, you know what I mean? Like that wasn't a hint that maybe we had decided to pivot, change course.
Well, maybe you just decided to get rid of those
two trees. Exactly.
Those 2 looked a little.
They were naughty.
Yeah, they were
naughty
great.
trees.
We had to set an example for the other 11.
Exactly.
To let them know, hey.
Somebody had to be the sacrificial tree. One time a restaurant brought us an extra meal that we didn't order, and we ate it. They made us pay for it. Steve of Earth. That's wrong also.
I have the opposite of that. Okay, so my friend, I was not here for this, but there was a huge argument between me and my friends. My friends were out to brunch. They had to get something changed on their receipt and their ticket. When they come back from the ticket getting changed, the ticket said $0 on it. It was free. And they had an argument about whether they should just get up and leave and be like, well, they messed up, not our fault, or if they should say, hey, you messed up our order. You didn't charge us for anything. It's a huge debate. Most of them say, hey, they messed up.
Food.
That's what I said. You got to pay. You have to say, oh, sorry.
I was about to say, it's very obvious to see what side the food business owner would be on this side.
Oh, whatever. Just saying.
Wait a minute. They thought that so they took one thing off the menu or off the bill, but they accidentally took all of the things off the bill?
Yes.
So it was a clerical error. That's
it's a very simple mistake.
Famous clerical error.
Very simple
Bank
mistake.
in your favor, collect $200.
And people who will go nameless, however you all know them, said, oh, well, they messed up. We can leave.
Brian in Waukesha saying Jen should have used the Lorax to speak for her trees while she wasn't there.
And one of them was listening and just texted into me and said, wow.
Well, I guess Jen doesn't have to cut down any more trees for 2 years. Sure, that is a byproduct of them treating the trees. We won't be cutting those ones down.
Now that you've got an investment into the tree.
Exactly. But again, I don't like having outstanding bills, and it does feel like this is one that I did not sign up for. I don't know. Again, we're probably going to pay
How
it.
hard? I was about to say, is it? It's a big bill, though.
It's a big bill.
Yeah, that is a big bill.
Right.
Like I mean, Chewy here, I mean, $9 a month. Like, we got a ways before it's worth fighting because, I mean, in 3 months it's going to be $27. You know, like we're talking about a bill with a comma in it. That seems worth fighting for.
Yes.
If I'm you, Jen.
And a lot of these places, it's like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days to collections.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had a good run here of having things not sent to collections. Okay, back in the day,
keep that streak going.
They knew me by name, Jen. Again, really,
60
with the
days
credit
already?
card. Hey, good to hear from you again. Think you want to pay this credit card bill? I just don't have the funds. But I got a good stretch of not having anything sent to collections. I'd like to keep it that way. Have you guys tried Celsius Energy Drink yet? If you haven't, let me tell you all about it. It's the clean energy drink that you need, that I need to stay active and energized all day long. And I need Celsius Energy Drink in order to get through these shows with these knuckleheads here on ESPN Milwaukee. But I also have one every Saturday morning before I hit the air for college football season. Celsius keeps me going all throughout the day. It's the essential energy drink that I use to stay on top of it all. And you can find Celsius at your local Pick and Save stores or online at Amazon. Stay active, stay energized all day long with Celsius Essential Energy Drinks.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We're looking at a little bit of a slow ride northbound on 41 as you're making your way up from Wisconsin Avenue up past Watertown Plank Road. Southbound 43 really hitting the brakes from Bender Road, before Bender Road, all the way down past Capitol Drive to about Locust. Northbound 43 going to be a bit slow heading up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Locust as well. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy, becoming less humid, a high of 74. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 60. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The big gig is back.
Everybody's happy. Summerfest is back. The weather is perfect.
And so are we at the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone.
I think I got in trouble for talking to people. They said I was mean.
Tune in every weekday to Homer and Tony and Scalzo and Brust, who will be broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone all throughout Summerfest.
Greg Scalzo is here! Hey! 1 minute late.
What I just did was miraculous.
Oh, here we go.
Stop by, say hi, and win prizes all Summerfest long with 94.5 ESPN.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I have told you about the delicious pizza and Italian snacks that you can find at Proof Pizza inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel. But now there's even more to be excited about. The restaurant has added new sandwiches to the menu. Available every day from 11 to 4, you can enjoy items like the Red Rock Chicken BLT, the Meatball Hero, and more. Order from the counter at Proof or directly from the bar at St. Kate. Explore the new sandwiches and the rest of the menu at proofpizzamke.com.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text HUNK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text HUNK to 42424. That's HUNK to 42424.
Are you ready to be treated like a VIP? Drop the third-party apps and download the Cousins Club app for true VIP status. Then order your favorite subs and sides directly on the Cousins Club app to reap the rewards. You'll get access to exclusive, limited-time only products, coupons, and special offers. And you'll earn reward points, free food, and Cousins merchandise. Now that's how a VIP should be treated. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
The top 8 at 8.
Name something that follows the word pork.
You pie.
Huh?
One category.
Name something people take with them to the beach. Turkey.
The top 8 answers.
The first thing you buy in a supermarket. Turkey.
The top 8 at 8.
A food often stuffed. Turkey.
The top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Name Popeye's favorite food.
Chicken!
Oh my God!
Show me chicken!
Sponsored by Milwaukee Pretzel Company. Win a Bavarian soft pretzel lovers gift pack from the Milwaukee Pretzel Company. Shop now at MilwaukeePretzel.com.
Before we get to Gabriel's top 8 at 8 list this morning, Jim in Wales is on the line. Jim, good morning. It says here you are a master arborist.
That is correct, yes. I've been an arborist for 35 years.
So you obviously know who the Lorax is.
I know Dr. Seuss, yes.
Familiar. How can you help us this morning?
Well, do you have the original paperwork? You said you had someone come out and then inject the trees 2 years ago. Do you have the original paperwork?
We do, yes.
Okay, check that first, but don't pay that bill if you didn't authorize it.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, fight it. Call the company, talk to the owner. That's ridiculous if they just come out and inject all your trees. By the way, injecting your ash against emerald ash borer is a waste of time and money.
Really?
Yeah, take that money and just apply it to the removal of the trees. I've seen many ash trees get injected, and they still die anyway.
Oh, how long? What do they got?
Well, for the life cycle of the insect takes about 2 to 3 years for them to die completely.
Oh,
Jim, I got black spots on my maple trees. The maple trees.
Yeah, that's
on the leaves. What is that?
It's actually called tar spot, and it's very cosmetic. No need to do anything.
This is amazing. Wait, can we? I think we should take Jim's number. I think we should have him on retainer as the master arborist of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I agree.
This guy's going to have all sorts of tree questions, okay?
He just came up with one on top of his head out of nowhere.
He has a wealth of knowledge. I think this will be great. Jim, you're hired. You're on your, well, I was going to say payroll, but we're not going to pay you. But we'll give you the distinction of being the master arborist of the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy
What's
show.
the name of your company, Jim?
Master Emeritus.
Master Emeritus. I think I'm an emeritus.
He doesn't know what that means, Gabe. There's no chance.
It means
I'm about to retire, so.
Oh.
Yeah, but you'll have plenty of time for Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. That's what that means.
Yes.
Jim, we appreciate
Yes, I
the
do.
call this morning.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Jim.
much for the insight.
Thank you.
All right, look at that.
All right.
That's a
I just
victory
saved
for
myself
us.
money, too.
Leave it alone, he says.
You thought that there was something that you were going to have to do to him.
Yeah.
But you're fine.
I'm good.
Ashton, I'm being serious. Write down Jim's number. I'm putting him in the Rolodex.
I don't know if I've ever seen Chewy happier than realizing he didn't have to go to Angie to ask for money for the maple trees.
To save the trees. You are the Lorax. No, seriously. How did we not put this together before?
It's a little bigger.
Yeah, she was like, cut him down. I'm like, what?
After the last time you almost took out the garage cutting down trees?
Yeah. Ooh.
What do we got, Gabe?
So I have a list of 8 things in front of me. Jen and Chew will guess back and forth. Once they each get one incorrect, we'll open it up to you, the fans. 800-990-3776. I saw a story on Corey Dillon, former NFL running back, earlier today on The Athletic, kind of tooting his own horn, saying how he should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So what I have in front of me is the last 8 running backs to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Last 8 running backs to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Wow. Okay. You want to go first, or you want me to? And I can tell you this: Adrian Peterson.
Is he on the list?
Not in yet. He's probably got another 2 years to go in.
I don't know if he's officially
I just saw that
retired.
Adrian
Didn't he just
Peterson
sign
is.
somewhere?
Well, Adrian Peterson is. Sorry, my computer's going a little wacky here.
Yeah,
He's a candidate for the College Football Hall of Fame this year, I believe.
Okay.
But I don't know if he's actually
He's not on a roster. Was he on a roster
What about
last
the other
year?
Adrian Peterson? Maybe it was him.
the one that played for the Bears.
Yeah, maybe it's him that he's thinking about.
I have Jerome Bettis.
Jerome Bettis is number 4. He was inducted in 2015.
Marshall Falk.
Marshall Falk, number 6 on the list, inducted in 2011.
This is going to get very tricky. Falk.
I got one.
Okay, hold on. Edgerrin James.
Edgerrin James is the most recent to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He was put in 2020. Number 1 on the list.
LT.
LaDainian Tomlinson, number 3 on the list, inducted in 2017.
I got nothing.
I got one more.
Go ahead.
Curtis Martin.
My Favorite Martin was inducted in 2012. He's number 5 on the list.
Shoot.
Set the list. How many we got?
All right, so number 1 is Edgerrin James. Do not have 2, although LaDainian Tomlinson tied for 2. Number 2 went in with LT in 2017. Jerome Bettis, number 4, went in 2015. Curtis Martin in 2012. Marshall Faulk in 2011 is number 6, and 7 and 8. So you have 2, 7, and 8 still left on the list. You guys ran through 5 of them.
You got Edgerrin James. Is the guy from Jacksonville in there?
I don't know.
Hold on. Let's go with the Atlanta Falcons.
Just the team? Just the...
Anderson.
You think Jamal Anderson's in the Hall of Fame?
Nah, maybe that's...
He's like starting to think he's not.
The Dirty Bird?
Oh, Houston Texans, Jen. Give me his name. From Tennessee. That's enough information for you, Gabe.
Not even enough information for you.
Houston Texans? Indianapolis Colts?
No. Played at Tennessee.
Both have to do with horses.
Lamar?
Nope.
All right, I quit. You don't know who I'm talking about?
No, I do not. Safe to say that person isn't on the list.
Okay.
How could anybody?
What's his name, Ash?
I don't know who the hell you're talking about.
Lamar?
He's a good player.
Well, I take your word for it.
All
Just
right,
have to
open it
believe
up.
you. All right, we only have 3 left on the list. 800-990-3776. The last 8 running backs to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Edgerrin James is 1. He was inducted in 2020. LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, inducted in 2017, tied for 2. Jerome Bettis, 2015. Curtis Martin, 2012. And Marshall Faulk in 2011, 4 through 6. The meaning we just need 7 and 8. 2, 7, and 8. The only ones left on the list.
This is a good list. I thought it'd be tougher.
Yeah, you guys, for as much hand-wringing as you guys did, you guys kind of flew through these 5.
Right, but I think it's a pretty good this just doesn't happen that often.
Correct.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's just not a lot of running backs.
Yeah, I mean,
that
number
go
6 is
in the Hall of
2011.
Fame.
I'm still trying to think of the dude's name. What was his name?
800-990-3776. Need callers to play. Top 8 at 8.
The last 8 running backs to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
How many do the Packers have? Just Jim Taylor?
I think so.
Probably
And it's like,
just
I'll
Jim.
tell you what, it's very, you go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame website, and like Jim Taylor's listed as like a halfback / fullback. They've
Oh,
got,
no.
like,
What was Horning, though?
yeah, he would have been the same thing.
Yeah.
So
So
there's 2.
they don't count them as running backs
Well,
then, or they're
running backs,
underneath the running back
but
umbrella?
Because, if you just click on running back, the 2 RB, there's 19. So you have to search out HB and FB.
Oh, interesting.
And HB / QB because the NFL was weird back in 1933.
Ryan and Tosa, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Let's go with Eddie George.
Eddie George is not on the list.
Is he not in?
I'm not sure if he's in or not. I don't think he's in.
Let's go out to David in Grafton. David, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
I can tell Chewy's thinking about Arian Foster.
That's him.
Yeah, okay. That guy's definitely not on the list. We appreciate your help there.
Here's the thing, David, did you want to actually guess that, or did you just want to say this is the one that Chewy was thinking of?
I got to guess. I just wanted Chewy to be able to figure it out. How about Sean Alexander?
Sean Alexander, not on the list.
Should be, though, right?
He's not?
He's not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
He won an MVP, I think.
He did.
Wow.
Sean Alexander,
That's a
Sean
good guess,
Alexander. Alabama, Sean Alexander?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was the MVP in 2005.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's not in.
He only played 8 years. 9 years.
Zach in Mount Pleasant, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list? Hey, Zach.
Zachary.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Who do you got?
How about Eddie George?
Eddie George.
Already been guessed.
It's incorrect. You get a freebie there.
Sorry. Barry Sanders?
Barry
Going back a little
Sanders
farther?
goes back too far. Barry Sanders in the Hall of Fame. He was inducted in 2005, so that goes back too far.
800-990-3776. Running out of time here. How many more guesses do we? How many more
3
spots?
Still stuck on 3.
Gosh.
Somebody who was inducted with LT in 2017, and then we have 7 and 8 who were inducted after 2000. Oh, actually, before 2011.
Are there any non-hint hints we can give?
I mean, other than the 2 I just gave.
Yep. Other than those 2 would be great. I'm just trying to help you.
This is tough.
One of
should
them,
we
yes.
know the name?
One of them is tough. The other ones are easy. Ugh. Can you give us teams?
Is one of them a guy that played in like the 50s and he finally got in? And
Is one of them a guy? Let us narrow it down for us.
I mean, 2 played in your era, Chew.
Okay.
And then the other one played in the 60s into the 70s.
Eric in Milwaukee, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
I think I can give you one, Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis went in 2017.
Should have known Terrell
LaDainian
Davis. God,
Tomlinson.
when you said LT, I was like, close.
I think I might have the other one.
Write it on your plate.
Priest Holmes.
Priest Holmes, not in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
That's a good guess.
You have a marker still?
Let's go out to Jared in Milwaukee. Jared, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Can't even catch a pen.
Is Emmett Smith too long ago?
Already been guessed, right?
What?
Emmett Smith.
Emmett Smith is tied for 7th.
Oh, he is on the list.
2010.
I thought it was too far back.
Your guy is out. Your guy's not even in the Hall of Fame.
Should he be?
I'd have to do a deeper dive.
Okay.
But Emmett Smith went in 2010
All right,
with
that's a good
another
guess.
player.
That's a good guess, Jared. Go ahead with another guess.
What's left?
Just the other one who went in with Emmett Smith in 2010.
I thought he was trying to trick you into revealing the answers. What's left?
I don't know. I got nothing on that one.
That was a good guess, though.
Matt in Saukville is up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Did someone say Fred Taylor?
Yeah, that's who I was thinking
Chewy
of.
was thinking of Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor is not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Okay, good guess.
Why do we say good guess when they're wrong?
You broke my pen, man.
Mike in Waukesha. Mike in Waukesha.
Shouldn't have threw it when you threw it. Go ahead, Mike.
Sounded like so much fun when Brett did it.
Thurman Thomas.
Thurman Thomas, too far back.
Oh,
in the Pro
that's a
Football Hall of
great
Fame,
guess,
but too
though.
far back.
I think you're just going to have to tell us.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to tell us.
I don't know what we do here. in
Help
terms
us.
of-
Yeah, I think we're out.
Yeah.
So
Give
just
me a hint.
Give
give us
them
hints.
hints and they can fix it.
Okay, so we are looking at someone who played for the Denver Broncos in the 60s and 70s.
60s and 70s.
67 through 75. He finally got in and went in with Emmett Smith. I mean, I figured somebody would just look this up.
Really?
Yeah.
Only team, Denver Broncos.
Only team, Denver Broncos. 5-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro. War number 44.
Nope. Nope.
Gavin Gray.
Floyd Little.
Oh, Floyd Little.
Floyd Little.
Come on.
That's a tough one.
Chef Ed did weigh in on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line with Floyd Little. Give him a half a point for that.
Doesn't get you anything.
I know. It was
Gotta
more
call in.
Just bragging rights. Now,
guys-
what else you got?
That's it.
Oh, that was the
list
last
is
one?
done.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought there were more. Sorry.
Trying to be me?
You said there were 3, and then apparently
we got 2. We got Emmett Smith.
3
and
minus 2 is, turns out, 1. Huh? How about that? We've got Matt Schneidman coming up next. He is sitting back there in the production office with our guy, Ashy. He's going to come out here and talk a little Packers with us right after this. Everybody get pumped up because Potawatomi Casino Hotel is bringing 24/7 sports betting to the great city of Milwaukee. The Potawatomi Sportsbook is now open. You can enjoy the convenience of full-service kiosks, odds boards, wall-to-wall TVs, free parking, great food, and a full-service bar. Put your game face on. It is time to bet big and bet bold at the Potawatomi Sportsbook at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Backups along southbound 43 showing up at a 17-minute ride as you're making your way down from Brown Deer Road to downtown. Most of the delays happening between Silver Spring and Locust. Northbound side slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Locust as well. Southbound 41, kind of a heavy ride from Silver Spring down past North Avenue to about Mayfair Road. We did have an earlier disabled vehicle right about at North Avenue that was blocking some lanes. That has been cleared out of the way. Traffic is brought to you by the Club at Lac La Belle, the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin. Schedule your tee time at club@laclabelle.com and start your journey. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy, becoming less humid, a high of 74. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 60. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is the year to buy the woman you love a big anniversary diamond.
What's a big anniversary diamond?
A big anniversary diamond is any diamond that's at least twice as big as the one in her engagement ring.
Why twice as big?
A big anniversary diamond says, I love you twice as much today as the day I married you.
People are always so happy when they see the price we can give them.
Kessler's has wonderful prices on 1 carat, carat and a half, 2 carat, and 3 carat big anniversary diamonds.
People will ask you about your big diamond everywhere you go.
So big anniversary diamonds are the hot new trend?
It began with men buying big anniversary diamonds for the women they love. But now it's gone to a whole new level.
Women are now buying big anniversary diamonds for their men.
Women are saying, 2 can play that game.
I like games that 2 can play.
Everybody likes games that 2 can play.
Welcome to Kessler's.
For the location nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Paid actor, not a real customer. Quote based on a healthy, non-smoking 44-year-old male with a 20-year term policy. Rates may vary.
Welcome to Ethos, a new kind of insurance company that believes life insurance should be hassle-free, affordable, and accessible for everyone.
For around $1 a day, I got a 20-year, $250,000 term life insurance policy without a medical exam. All I had to do was answer a few health questions and snap, family protected. It was quick and easy. Ethos is 100% online. I got a quote in seconds, applied in minutes, and got coverage in hours. Just answer a few health questions. No medical exam, no blood tests, no hassle. Look, nobody wants to plan for the unthinkable, but it would be so much worse to not plan at all. So don't put it off. It feels great having the peace of mind knowing that my family is protected.
Ethos, the 100% online hassle-free way to get affordable life insurance. Don't wait. Get your free online quote now at ethoslife.com. That's ethoslife.com.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
But remember he said his birthday?
Yeah.
Maybe we get a little freaky.
Yeah. Like everyone's like, oh, look at our horny little boy. Good for him. Like, everybody's so supportive of Giannis, they just kind of look past it.
On 94.5 ESPN.
All right, look. The reality is we can never get enough Packers talk here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on ESPN Milwaukee. And for that reason, we are bringing in another brilliant mind in the space, Matt Schneidman from The Athletic.
He seems uncomfortable with this.
Well, so first of all, here's what you need to know. Like, my goal in life is to make people uncomfortable. So if I've accomplished that already, 30 seconds in, fantastic. Second of all, it's true. People are insatiable for Packers knowledge. You, I'm sure, know that now. You've worked on this beat now for several years. You see how you can tweet out or report the most mundane, and people like salivate to it. They just want to know. So we were talking earlier about Kimberly A. Martin, who was on Get Up earlier this week and made the comment about the Packers making the playoffs and Jordan Love's performance. One more time, Ashley, give me the sound from Kimberly on Get Up.
Well, I think it's immense pressure from the standpoint of, look at the whole Aaron Rodgers saga. They moved up to get Jordan Love and then essentially told him, oh, no, wait, sit back down because we completely messed this situation up. We have a 2-time back-to-back MVP guy on our hands right here. I think there's immense pressure, but that's why I say Jordan Love can't think about that. It really is, because you're not going to forget about whether you have better stats in your first year as a starter versus Aaron Rodgers. If they make the playoffs, it doesn't matter what his stat line says. Clearly, he's done enough to get them to the playoffs. So that's all he has to worry about. Put them in a best position to potentially get into the playoffs, and he'll be good.
So, Matt, the metric that Gabe feels most comfortable using to measure the growth of Jordan Love this year is if he gets better week to week, game to game, over the course of the season. But Kimberly is basically saying if they make the playoffs, if the Packers are a playoff team, and given the way that the NFC is shaking out or could shake out, that's a possibility, then it doesn't matter what Jordan Love did because it will have been enough to get them in the postseason. Are you inclined to agree with Kimberly or not?
Yeah, I think, first of all, of course, Jordan's under immense pressure, maybe not inside the building, but what him being quarterback, I think, allows the Packers to do is lean into what their actual strengths are without Aaron Rodgers, and that's the defensive side of the ball and their running game. If they get into the playoffs, sure, it's nice because it probably means he didn't lose them games, and I think that's the baseline for him this year. As long as Jordan Love doesn't lose you games and make back-breaking mistakes, then that gives you some optimism for the future. He doesn't have to be a world beater and go out there and win games like Aaron Rodgers did, but if the Packers make the playoffs, and I think they're going to go 10-7 and make the playoffs, the reasons being are because Rashawn Gary's healthy and their pass rush got home, and because they let the running game work with arguably the best offensive line in football. So if we're sitting here a couple months from now and say, why are the Packers in the playoffs? Why did they win the division even maybe? I don't think we're sitting here saying, oh, it's because Jordan Love threw for 45 touchdowns and only had 6 interceptions. I think it's because Jordan Love played well, but the Packers leaned into their strengths. Whereas in past years, they have a quarterback where you kind of have to ask him to win games. And this year, they can kind of tailor their team to other things.
Matt, what is his best skill and what's his worst skill?
His worst skill, I would probably say, as mundane as this seems, throwing a tight spiral on deep balls. Too many times over the years, whether it's in OTAs or mini camp or actual games, just watching him on the practice field, too many times you look from the sideline and say, ooh, that's a dead duck. Mm-hmm. How many times did we do that with Aaron Rodgers over the years?
Yeah, never.
These things are tight spirals. His best skill, I would say at this point, it's the willingness to play conservatively when it's warranted. Like so many times we heard with Rodgers, for example, the most notorious play in recent memory is Aaron chucking it downfield to Devontae in double coverage against the 49ers in the wild card game, whereas Allen Lazard's wide open over the middle. Jordan Love is probably going to be coached to not take those risks, and I think him being so willing to take what's there for him, take the check down, move the chains, is probably his biggest strength right now, if only because he's doesn't have the leash or isn't comfortable with taking the risks that Aaron was so comfortable taking.
But the most important thing with this team is his development, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm in the camp where, they make the playoffs. If he's not developing, making the playoffs is fool's gold because you're not going to be winning the Super Bowl, even if you make the playoffs with him this year or next year. He has to develop into a solid NFL starter.
Right. He's going to get a 2-year trial period regardless, unless he's an outright disaster this season. And there are no signs that he could be the guy. He's going to get 2 years. It's not, a guaranteed 2 years. It's obviously guaranteed 1 year. But I think if he can show that he's not a catastrophe at quarterback, he's going to get a second year. But like you said, what they want to see is probably just that he can be a game manager. I know that's a frowned upon term in the NFL when talking about the quarterback position. But if he can do anything but lose them games this year, then I think they'll be satisfied with what they have going into year 2.
Are they gonna tell him to tuck it and run? I mean, because I look at Jalen Hurts, I look at Mahomes, and he's not gonna know his 4th and 5th read. My guess is he's gonna get to. I'm talking early in the season. He's gonna go 1, 2, maybe 3. Are they gonna coach him? Just go, just run.
They should, because why not lean into a skill set that you haven't really been able to take advantage of?
Sure.
For the last, I don't want to say 5-10 years. In case Aaron's listening, we know you can still run. Don't worry. why not add a little flavor? What I want to see from this offense this year is the reins come off. Let's see Matt LaFleur's play-calling genius at work. Now, I know he's pushed back against the notion that we're finally going to see what his own offense is, but I want to see some design quarterback runs, the quarterback getting out on the move more so than we've seen in recent years. So I would love to see some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Schneidman from The Athletic joining Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here. July until training camp gets going is kind of a quiet time, but what do you think are some possible roster moves? Some where you'd like to see some movement, where you'd like to see some change, where they could either bolster or where you're like, that guy's got to go and make room for somebody who can actually be a contributor for this roster?
I'm going to beat this drum because I know there are people inside the building who feel this way. It's not going to happen. They need to re-sign Mercedes Lewis. They have 2 tight ends who we have no idea if they can block. Having a guy like Mercedes Lewis in this offense, especially when you're going to want to lean into a running game with arguably the best running back tandem in the league, the best offensive line when healthy, knock on wood, you need a guy like Mercedes Lewis. And not just that, for the locker room, for Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave, sure, they're athletic freaks, it seems, on the field, and they can catch passes, but the role Mercedes Lewis played in this offense in both the pass and run game the past 5 years, nobody else in the NFL can do that, what he can do. And how invaluable can he be for those young guys in that locker room? Look, I know they moved on from all of Aaron Rodgers' guys, Robert Tonyan, Randall Cobb, Lazard. Bakhtiari's still here, obviously, but I think you got to get Mercedes Lewis back. Other than that, they seem pretty set. You know, I know they've had the Devondre Campbell, Jaron Reed signings around this time the past couple of years, and they've turned into nice players, but there's nobody really out on the market. Jarvis Landry maybe, but LaFleur has already said we're sticking with the young guys at receiver.
Why wouldn't they have signed Mercedes? He's still out there as a free agent.
I don't know. That's a great question.
Why haven't the better question is, why haven't the Jets signed Mercedes Lewis at this point?
I think it's one of those instances where, similar to Alan Lazard, their value in Green Bay is incomparable to wherever else. You know, sure, Alan Lazard's still young enough where he can have value, but do other teams really see the value of a 39, 40-year-old Mercedes Lewis and what he can bring to that locker room, the relationship he has with that coaching staff? I don't think so. So I'm not saying it's Green Bay or nowhere. I was also surprised that he didn't sign with the Jets, but if it's anybody, I think it's him. Especially
does he want to come there, though? I would never want to go there in a million years.
To the Jets?
No, to the Packers.
Mercedes?
Yeah, you're not going to win anything. All your guys are gone. You're 39. He probably doesn't need any money. I mean, I wouldn't go back.
But he hasn't also retired either. I mean, we haven't heard him officially walk away from football.
I mean, most guys that are that age are like, I want to chase a ring. Right?
Yeah,
I'm just saying I wouldn't.
Maybe he just loves it because, remember, he played in Jacksonville for how long?
That's
and he
true.
wasn't winning anything there either.
I'm just saying it might be Mercedes.
At this point in his career, I agree with you. I know he still wants to play. I've been told he still definitely wants to play. He needs one more season to set the record for most ever played by a tight end.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that factors into it a little bit as well. But you're right. I mean, do the Packers have realistic Super Bowl chances this year? No. But at the same time, do you want to go where you're comfortable? Do you just do it for the love of the game? You make a good point, but who knows what drives him at this point?
How do you think they're going to play Love defensively? Are they going to blitz him? They're going to sit back and wait till he makes a mistake? I mean, how would you attack him?
They have to blitz him. I mean, if you look at what happened against the Chiefs when he made his first start back when Rodgers tested positive for COVID, the Chiefs just blitzed him the entire game.
Yeah.
And I talked to Brian Gutekunst a couple weeks ago about Jordan Love, and he said, you know, one of the reasons we have optimism for what Jordan can do is because of how he handled that Kansas City game. I was like, wait, what? You guys lost, 13-7?
Yeah.
He was terrible, at least from the casual eye. He was like targeted Devontae Adams 14 times, only completed 6 passes. There were 16 quarterback pressures from the Chiefs that game. And Goody told me, he was like, you know, we did not have a good plan that game. And the way he stood in there and faced the pressure and moved back from that, you can say what you want about not having a good plan, but my point is, he didn't handle the blitz well at all that game.
Yeah.
The Chiefs just sent the house at him. I would do that until he figures it out.
You think he said that because that's his guy? Because GMs hold on to their guys.
I know
long.
what Jason Wilde thinks about this.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I've gone at him with this. I don't think it was Goody going at LaFleur and being like, this is my guy. We set him up to succeed. He's better than what the coaching staff, set him up to do.
Yeah.
I just think it was a broad organizational statement of, we weren't ready for this plan. Where, how can you not be? It's a guy making his first career start. Of course you're going to blitz the heck out of him.
What do you think of the organizational structure? Do you think it's going to last in 2 years when Mark Murphy retires? Does the new person try to go back to the way things were of having, I'm the president, and then the GM handles all the football stuff, and the GM hires and fires the coach?
Yeah, I think it's more of a as long as Goody's here thing, because he's a Ted Thompson disciple. And the way things have been done around here for so long, and this is something Aaron Rodgers and I talked about when I spoke with him on the phone a couple weeks ago, is when Aaron came back in 2021, he wanted those lines blurred. He wants players to have say in personnel, but the way it is, it's very hierarchical structure in Green Bay, as we all know. Front office makes personnel decisions, coaches coach, players play. I think it should be different, but I'm just a beat writer. There's a reason I'm not a GM. I think as long as Brian Gutekunst is here, and he's the one making the decisions in that building, as a guy who learned from Ted Thompson for so long, I think it'll stay like this. I don't really think anymore that Mark Murphy obviously has say in personnel matters and what goes on inside that building, but I really think in terms of football stuff, it's Goody in charge. And as long as he's here, then I think he'll stay like that.
Speaking of Mark Murphy, and we got to let you go, Matt, but did he tip his hand? Did he tip the league's hand when he was talking about the Jets on Hard Knocks? Right? You saw the Murphy Takes 5?
Yeah.
And he was asked about Hard Knocks, and then all of a sudden at the end he's like, and I think the Jets are going to be great to watch.
Well, what we've learned about Mark Murphy over the years is that he may not be the best public speaker. So, quite honestly, I don't know if that's him knowing it or him just assuming it's going to be the Jets and saying that. I mean,
because Pro Football Talk reported that they thought it was going to be the Jets last week.
This is a guy who went on local TV at a girls basketball tournament and said, we're just tried to throw a wrench in trade negotiations. So, and said the complicated fella stuff a couple of years ago. Mark's a fantastic guy from all my dealings with him, but he can be a little unpredictable when you put a microphone in front of him.
And we love those folks.
Yeah.
Matt, you are fantastic. We really appreciate you hanging out with us. Let's do this again, all right?
Absolutely. Appreciate
Matt
it.
Schneidman from The Athletic covers your Green Bay Packers so well. Make sure you follow him on all social. Are you going to be on Thread? You going to go to Thread?
No.
We're not threading?
No.
Well, we'll get him on Thread.
I'll be the last man standing on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Out of principle.
You and Elon just over there waving at each other from opposite sides of the gorge. All right, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on right after this.
Chewy, anytime somebody needs to make a big decision, there's one place to go when you're making that big decision, right?
There is. And Ashton's getting very close.
Getting closer.
Big trip next weekend. The girlfriend up north.
Spending time with the family this last weekend.
Hey, I do the same. That's why my wife is so happy, because I go to the jewelry center. Let's be honest, most guys don't have a clue when it comes to buying jewelry. Gabe's one of the smart ones. He got his engagement ring and the wedding bands from the jewelry center this last year. They also do in-house repairs for watches and other fine jewelry, like my championship ring. When it needs work, I know where I'll be taking it to the jewelry center. They have 3 locations to stop into: Greenfield, Brookfield, and Burlington. And if my wife can't tag along, she can just text a picture of whatever she wants. The Jewelry Center can create any piece from just a photo. I'm living proof. Happy wife, happy life. The Jewelry Center will make it happen in Brookfield, Greenfield, or Burlington, and online at shoptjc.com.
Full show podcasts, interviews, and special content is available right now at WisconsinOnDemand.com. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN. The big gig is back.
Everybody's happy. Summerfest is back. The weather is perfect.
And so are we at the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone.
I think I got in trouble for talking to people. They said I was mean.
Tune in every weekday to Homer and Tony and Scalzo and Brust, who will be broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone all throughout Summerfest.
Greg Scalzo is here! Hey! 1 minute late.
What I just did was miraculous.
Oh, here we go.
Stop by, say hi, and win prizes all Summerfest long with 94.5 ESPN.
Wisconsin, are you ready to rally? Be sure to make plans to stop by Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc during the 120th Homecoming Festival, July 13th through the 16th, with 45 vendors, 23 bands, and of course Harley-Davidsons. You won't want to miss this anniversary. Whether you ride or not, there's always something for everyone at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. For more info, like and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and online at WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text HUNK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text HUNK to 42424. That's HUNK to 42424.
A gentle breeze blows across your face as you take a refreshing sip of water, appreciating the stillness of another morning fishing on the lake. The distant gurgle of a stream reminds you of days spent playing in the creek, the cool, clear water rushing between your toes. You love this time with nature, the feeling of putting everything on hold to connect with the world around you. Now, imagine it's all gone. No fish, no lake, no water. One of life's most vital resources, irreplaceably depleted. Time is running out to protect fresh water, and without our love, it can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our fresh water. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can. But it's just as important to take time for yourself. AARP can help. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Is the electric chair still a thing?
Okay,
They
let me
still
read the
use
tweet.
I figured everything was
I don't
lethal
know.
injection at this
Is
point.
this usually what happens when I answer a phone call or can't read a tweet? You guys just talk about...
Yes.
The death penalty, yes.
It's his fault. He did it.
God, doing this show is a death penalty.
On 94.5 ESPN.
If you missed any of Matt Schneidman's appearance here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, you can find it on Wisconsin On Demand, wherever you get your podcasts. Let's go check the polls. Should Chewy just call his gym and cancel the membership so he doesn't get charged the $9 a month while he looks for a different new gym? 85% of people are saying yes. Just get it done.
Or do you think they're going to charge you whatever the cost? I have no idea what it costs.
My buddy said I have to go there.
Yeah, but
Will you go there for me for $9?
Wait, you're going to give him $9?
Yes.
How are you going to explain that to Angie? I lost the $9, but I'm out of the gym.
You take cash?
Oh, yeah.
No,
cash.
Venue Mo. He takes Venue Mo.
I know. I'll be waiting forever for that to come
If the Packers make the playoffs or are in a playoff chase, but Jordan Love isn't the primary reason, is that a negative 79% of people saying absolutely not. Let's just get to the playoffs. Do you know what the Lorax is? 85% of people do know what the Lorax is. Do you know that Chewy is the Lorax of the groin? You do now. Thanks for hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Wildy and Tosh is next on ESPN Milwaukee.
We've got a little bit of a backup along southbound 43 coming in from just south of Bender Road all the way down past Locust. The northbound side is slowing down right around the north.